We will go to the next presentation. Again, Dr. Mantawy will take care of this presentation as well. The topic is, the topic of project is rapid repair and retrofit of timber piles using UHPC. Dr. Mantawy.
Okay, so continuing with the UHPC, I think that a lot of presentation today related to UHPC, great material, a future of industry. So here we are using it in different application, which is rapid repair and retrofit of timber piles using UHPC. Same research team, but we have a PhD, our PhD student Carlos Sousa doing the legwork in this project. So typically in US, there's more than 18,000 timber bridges, and actually quarter of them are in poor condition. And the expected service life is between 50 years and 75 years based on the condition of the pile. So the main causes of decay are either bacteria, fungi, or marivorer, or physical agents like mechanical damage, ultralight degradation, or chemical degradation. Therefore, there is a need for accelerated and durable technique to repair and retrofit and upgrade timber piles to restore the load carrying capacity and extend the surface life. So, in terms of the current common repair and retrofit technique for timber pile, there's here just 3 of them here for sake of comparison. We do have a case of concrete encasement, wrapping with the FRB, or corrugated metal pipe, jacking with concrete infill. So an advantage of this, these technique include, first, for example, for concrete encasement, you have protection against marine borer because concrete can actually prevent that. For wrapping with FRB, environmentally friendly, potential for cost be competitive. For corrugated metal pipe jacketing and concrete infill, it adds stiffness to the column and high protection against debris. But there's some disadvantages, as you can see here. Concrete encasement could be expensive, labor expensive, more inspection need to be done. Wrapping with FRB is also labor intensive. The issue is fire resistance. For corrugated metal is steel corrosion and also bigger cross sections. So just to envision here, we're trying to apply UHPC encasement to restore pile capacity and provide protection. So on the left side, you can see some location of damage, just random damage, schematic. And on the right side, you can have partial UHPC repair or actually full encasement. And the cross section here is showing that you have to remove the damaged area and encase it with a layer of UHPC. And here's the load transfer between the units. So, continuing with envisioning the idea, so here the UHPC encasement. Why UHPC? Because actually half an inch of UHPC encasement can actually restore the entire capacity of 9-inch timber pile. You will early strength gain, so you can open to traffic very fast, and also provide high durability and protective layer for the timber itself. And actually, the timber itself can be used as formwork for the UHPC if proper load transfer and composite action between them is established. So, talking again about UHPC, high strength in compression and in tension compared to normal strength concrete, extended service life because of high corrode resistance and corrosion, less maintenance and maintenance costs because extended surface life, and also very suitable for ABC implementation. And it's not a surprise after you attend all this presentation today related to UHPC. So the project objective here is to examine the surface preparation of timber pile in order to enhance the bond strength between the timber itself and UHPC to ensure composite action, conducting small-scale testing to study the bond and load transfer between timber pile and UHPC, conducting small-scale testing to study the load-carrying mechanism of timber pile repaired or retrofit using UHPC, and evaluating all this small-scale testing. And all those stuff are on bold because we kind of completed it. Complete most of them, and we will be doing study on the shrinkage effect between timber and UHPC and conducting large scale testing for timber pile repaired or retrofit using UHPC. So as I mentioned here, one challenge with surface preparation. So we did some surface preparation. We are using actually like very low cost technique. So we have first one is just plain or smooth surface. Second one is rough surface, just saw cut some pieces, make it rough, using surface with holes, draining hole, allowing UHPC to fill it, or surface with nails. We did full push-off test, as you can see here, where you have the intermediate segment in timber and connected with UHPC. So in this table, I'm showing for holes, specimen with holes, with rough surface, with smooth surface, and with nail. And it's not surprising that the nail provided the higher average strength or shear strength between the two segments. Also, one of the reviews of a current paper was sent to TRP was, did you examine different surface slope because the damage can be inclined? So we added test setup for different angles, 30, 45, and 60 degrees. And we only examined it with the best option using nails, which is very cheap to do. And here, specimen with 30 degree, 45 degree, and 60 degrees. And here we cast those specimens a week ago, and we were able to test the first specimen just yesterday, as you can see here. We're going to induce axial load to the shear plane. Therefore, we will have more strength or bond strength between the two materials. So the second topic is the load carrying capacity comparison with different configurations. So the first configuration is timber pile. And we also have some reduced sections. So the timber pile itself here is just like a cylinder test for 4-inch diameter, 8-inch high. We have reduced section of half an inch thick. So the diameter is 3 inches and 7/8 an inch. So it's 2.25 inch. We also tested UHPC shell with hollow sections to see the capacity of them, and also the composite timber to UHPC. Same surface preparation, full timber, reduced diameter, timber with nail, with holes, and rough surface, and bunch of testing is 3 specimens each. So before I go here, we did some attempt to see the condition of the timber should be like dry or sprayed or soaked in water. So in order to see if there's going to be induced crack on the UHPC encasement or not. So here is the summary of the results. The full timber pile itself was 4-inch diameter, 8-inch high, get us capacity of 53 kips. Timber reduced, drop it significantly to 35 to 14 kip. The shell only provide, if the shell thickness is half an inch, it provide 95 kip. If it's 7/8 inch, it's 200. If we actually saw that timber pile, even plain or nails, results are very similar, and it's similar to the UHPC shell itself. While if we are just spraying the timber pile, it induces some cracks in the UHPC because timber tend to absorb some water, and UHPC is already having less water cement ratio. So it dropped the value a little bit, but in general, all the capacities were higher than the original full timber and timber reduced. So next study, I was trying to do a lot of testing in shrinkage, try to understand, and one technique was to isolate the timber pile from the UHPC shell using a membrane or a layer of maybe foam material, since we already gonna use nails to ensure the composite action. This was first specimen we did. We did a full-size timber pile with a shell, as you can see here, 2-inch shell. We stored one in the lab, we stored one outside, and in the lab in controlled ambient condition, we got no cracks, but outside we got some crack induced, but we believe for some reason because of rainy Florida, you will have cycles of drying and wetting the timber, and the timber itself is not covered. So the next study after studying the shrinkage will be conducting large scale specimen testing with axial load and lateral load. And this is planned for this fall and spring of 2021. I think I maybe exceed, I give you extra 8 minutes for questions.
No problem, Islam. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just like the other topics, it was interesting and exciting topic, this one. Couple of questions. How would you see the? There are significant differences between material properties between UHPC and timber. So, for example, how would you see that the stiffness of the difference in the stiffness will impact the load carrying?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Are you relating to this sketch, the first sketch I showed here?
Yes.
So I do. No, this is just to show that there is option of partial UHPC repair and full encasement, and I do believe that anyway the timber pile will have cycle of degradation. So the best way is to have the shell that can carry the entire capacity of the column of the pile. Use the pile as a formwork against the UHPC. Develop the composite action between the two material, and just rely on this very thin layer of UHPC to carry the load.
Okay, so
it should be unit.
Yeah, we'll resolve it. No, if you ignore the wood, then
yeah, the issue is if you repair it differently in different locations, the stiffness are going to be different. In general, timber pile carry probably axial load and lateral load from breaking force and temperature, shrinkage, and so on. Mainly in the rural area, non-seismic. So, but if you have damage like that, I will not recommend repairing this way. But I'm showing here examples of where you can have that repair. But if you have damage like that, I think just go ahead and repair by encasement of all piles, so maintaining the stiffness.
Okay. And the next question is, you showed your specimens that you tested in axial loading. How was the what was the loading surface? Was it entire cross section or wood or UHPC?
Yeah, it was entire cross section, because, as I mentioned, we tend to encase the entire pile. So a cross section like that, you will have both of them under compression load.
Yes. Okay. So, but that figure that you are showing, that figure you are showing actually shows the loading only on the surface of the timber. Yes.
Which one?
No, you just asked.
Do you remember which slide?
No. Go. Yeah, this one.
Which one?
Right up.
Oh, this one is only to. This one is only to quantify. Next one.
Go back to the sketch that you showed. Yeah, this one. Don't pass. This one. Yeah, on top left.
Yeah.
You show that you're loading on a server.
Yeah, this is not. This is not a test setup. This is just to show you a flow off of the repair, where if you have partial UHPC repair, the load will go to the timber itself, back to the encasement, back to the timber, right?
Yes.
This is a load path. But the specimen itself, if you have full encasement, has to be loaded completely. So if you can see here, also the timber is extended, in both sides.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, there is no more question.
Any other?
About 5 minutes left, which will. So, anything else to add, Dr. Mantawy?
Not in this stage, but we'll keep going in this project, and we will keep updating you. If you have any questions, just reach me out, or Dr. Aziz Namini, or Carlos.
Thank you very much.